Hi, Cheryl Todd with Boys and Girls Club of Greater Baton Rouge. This is day 5 video of our Be Safe, Be Smart, Get Real About Violence program for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. We've really talked about a bunch of different things through this video series. On day 1, we talked about violence and what violence is, and that is something mean done on purpose to hurt someone, and some of the effects that it has on our communities and how we can stop those things. Also, we talked about influences or ideas where we get messages about meanness or violence, and some of those places are TV shows, video games, movies, and music, and other people. Then I shared with you about some other contributors to meanness and violence and things that can happen to us, and that was stress and anger, and that we wouldn't necessarily act in a way and treat other people in a way that we normally would if we weren't feeling stress or maybe anger or some sort of emotional feelings. Then I talked to you about ways to stop meanness, and that is to literally say stop, okay? Tell that person stop. And don't do that to me. And if that doesn't work and solve the problem, then you leave and you go somewhere safe. You take yourself away from that problem. Give that person some time. If they follow you and that didn't solve the problem and they still want to do something mean to you, then you ask an adult for some help. And there are a lot of adults in place already in your life that are willing to help you, and part of their job or their role in your life is to help you solve those problems. Today, boys and girls, I want to talk to you about being a friend and what that looks like and what that means. Well, I have an amazing amount of friends. I have a friend that I have been friends with for over 40 years, and I can honestly tell you she has never hurt my feelings or done anything to make me feel angry towards her. And I know that that's rare. I realize that she is a gift and that I'm really special to have her. So what is it that makes you pick people to be around? What is it about others that make you want them to be your friends? And so you think about those qualities of what it is to be a friend. Well, same goes for you. What is it that somebody sees in you that they like or that they feel safe around you that wants them to be your friend? So, there's a lot of things. I know you see my signs back here, and the one that says be a buddy, not a bully. And then to respect, you must give respect. Well, that's true. A friendship is a mutual relationship, a mutual responsibility, and you both hold part of that responsibility on your shoulders. And you have to be a friend just like you expect people to be a friend to you. And then part of another thing, message I want to point out is right here. It's cool to be kind. When you pick friends, do you pick the kid who comes to school and treats others disrespectfully? Or do you choose friends that make you laugh and you have fun with and you feel safe around, you don't feel threatened by, and stuff like that? You have that choice. You have that power to choose the friends that you want. I want to talk to you now I want to tell you a little bit about me. And when I was in 6th grade, and I'm not going to tell you when that was, but it was a long time ago, my grandmother was my best friend. And when I was in 6th grade, she passed away. And that was so difficult for me because I could come home from school and I could talk to her about any and everything. I could ask her questions, and she just was so wise and could give me just the answer I needed to hear at that time. But anyway, so I was in 6th grade, and I drew a heart, and I would suggest that maybe you think about this as if it was your heart. This was my heart. And, a lot of my friends or kids that were in my classroom, they probably didn't know my grandmother, but they knew me, okay? And so we were also in 6th grade about this same time doing a project. We were doing a bug project where we had to collect bugs and put in what we had then, a glass jar, because we didn't have plastic like everybody does now. We put it in a glass jar. And I was the kind of kid that I didn't like to play outside at recess. I didn't like to get hot and sweaty and all that. I'm so different now. But so I was in the classroom at recess. My teacher would let me stay in. But part of the deal was I had to help clean the room and straighten the books on the bookshelf and sweep the floor. Well, we had a shelf in our classroom, and it was high enough up that if the broom could go underneath that shelf, it might, knock that shelf over. Guess what? I was sweeping, and all these jars of bugs is on that shelf, and the broom handle, when I was sweeping there, knocked that shelf down, and all of those jars of bugs that were dead came busting down on the floor just in time for the recess bell to ring. And all of my classmates standing at the doorway, and I'm standing amongst all this broken glass and just terrified. I really was scared oh my gosh, I was in shock. I was scared and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, oh, I've just made a bigger mess. And all my classmates were standing at the door looking at me. And they're like, oh my goodness, what's that smell? Who did it? And why is it stinky in here? And then they saw me. Well, Cheryl did it. Cheryl did it. So every time something happened in the classroom, they said, Cheryl did it. Here's my heart. Remember, this is my heart. And so then that was kind of the routine of if something broke or something like that, they always said Cheryl did it. Well, and then my grandmother passed away that same year. And so sadness and grief entered my life, and I was so lonely for her, and I missed her, and it just felt like life was unfair. And then I'd go to school, and my friends would say Cheryl did it, or they would pick on me about making the room stinky and stuff like that. But my teacher that year was amazing because she comforted me. She let me know she loved me and she cared about me, and she was sad for me too. And that was such an awesome gift that I had with that teacher. And I will never, ever forget her and how she loved me and the softness of her voice when she told me it was going to be okay. Wow. So when she told me that, my heart started to feel a little bit better. It wasn't as heavy. So kind of started to feel a little bit better and more like myself. I'd go home and, I'd talk to my mom, and I'd tell my mom, this is happening at school and stuff like that. And she'd tell me, she said, it's going to be all right. This will pass. It won't always stay this way. And so, then, and she goes, and I love you, and you're very special to me, and you mean a lot to me. So I can unfold my heart, and there's my heart. I can see it again. But look, see all those wrinkles? My heart never can go back to the way it really, really was, because I have scars on them now from the pain and the hurt that happened. Yes, like I said, I couldn't help that my grandmother passed away. But those other kids who did mean things that hurt my heart, they could have done something different. And they are part of the reason why I had these scars on my heart. And no matter how much I scrape this or press this out, those scars are there forever. They're there forever. They can tell me they're sorry. They can tell me I didn't mean what I said, and some kids did tell me that. But they can tell me that, but that still leaves those scars. And it's up to me to grow past them. And it's up to me to move past that hurt. I still remember what it felt like. I don't cry, and I'm not sad and mopey about it all the time, but I still remember what it felt like, because mean acts cause hurts that last a long time. And even my mom felt sad for me. So the mean acts that happened to me it was like they were happening to her too, because she cared about me and she loved me and she felt sad about it. So you know what, boys and girls? I needed a friend. I needed a friend back then to tell me it's going to be okay and I'm here. I've got you. And I had friends, but they just weren't bold enough to stand up and do that for me at that time. We were only in 6th grade. And you know, 5th graders, if you're out there, I know you're going to 6th grade next year. And things are so different now than it was when I was in 6th grade. And you need to be brave. You need to be kind. I hope yesterday you made your barrel with your feelings and your emotions and stuff like that. Because let me tell you, the friends that I have put in my life since 6th grade has helped to restore a lot of this joy and this love. Do I still feel fear and sad and worried and sometimes maybe feel a little lonely? Well, not too much, because I'm really never alone a whole lot. But you know what? I can tap into this joy and love when I'm around the people and the friends that make me feel better about me and make me want to be a better version of myself. And you know what? If one of my friends are in pain or if they're hurting, and if my grandchildren, because I have a lot of them, if my grandkids are sad, I do what I can to help them feel better and let them know this too will pass. You will grow from this. You will move past this. And you know what? Let that be your message. That this too will pass and I can overcome. And if you are struggling with that, and if you're struggling with being stuck in sadness and fear and loneliness, talk to somebody. Talk to a friend. Talk to an adult. Surround yourself with people or ways to get yourself through it. You don't have to stand by. The rest of our message, or our poem is, what's the message? Is it true? Is it good for me and you? Don't stand by and don't be silent when you hear things mean or violent. You can be a powerful force in reducing violence. You can be a voice to stand up for yourself and tell people, stop, don't do that to me. Don't do that to a person that you're watching it happen to. Don't be a bystander. Boys and girls, I hope that you've gotten a message of positive attitude, positive outlook. I hope that you grow and you make this world a better place. Thank you so much for tuning into these videos, and have a great day and be nice to yourself.